Livestock from Bessiebelle, 270 sheep have been stolen, plus potentially another 50 from a neighbouring property. To speak about it more, I'm joined by one of the property owners, Shane Norris. Shane, thanks for joining me, mate. And you've had 270 sheep stolen, and this just must come at a huge cost to you and your business.
Oh, absolutely, mate. Yeah, especially at the time when everything's so poor at the moment, and the cost of feeding them. I've spent probably $10,000 this year so far just to feed them to keep them alive, and then to have some arsehole come and steal them off me. It's pretty harsh.
So when did you find out, Shane?
When I was landmarking,
Yep.
I'd thought to myself the numbers didn't seem to add up, and then I went back through all my records and found out that I was missing 70 ewes, and then roughly, well, at minimum, 200 lambs.
So it's obviously got quite a broad range of dates between when you believe they were there and when they were stolen. When did you
Yeah.
sort of realise how these I can't even think of a word to describe them, people decided to rock up and steal some of your stock? Was there any damage
Oh,
to gates
no,
or fences?
there was no damage. There was nothing done to even give me an insight to this had happened. The only thing now looking back on it was that the gates had been left open between paddocks, and I just put that down to as was myself being silly the day before, forgetting to shut the gates. But that obviously, it was them. They've come in and just swooped through from one side of the property to the other and just collected as quickly as they can as many sheep as they possibly can, and then just ran them straight into the yards and quickly thrown them on a truck and obviously just driven off.
So you've obviously been in contact with Warrnambool CIU and Richard Hughes, who's a fantastic operator. When did you, what's the process look like now? Has there been any suspicious circumstances? Has there been any reports of trucks or anything around the area that, might help investigators?
I have no clue at all. I spoke to all of my neighbours over the past 3 weeks. I've searched the neighbouring properties. I've spoken to as many people as I can before I've made the report to the police, because I didn't want to, make a false report or waste anybody's time. I just wanted to make sure that I was giving the right information, and I don't want to be accusing anybody of something they haven't done or get anybody in any trouble.
Yeah.
But now it has become quite clear that they definitely have been stolen. And then obviously I spoke to my neighbours last Tuesday, and when I finally got onto them, they had also stated that in the last month they've had 50 sheep stolen from their property, which is directly across the road from mine.
That's just devastating, mate. And you mentioned that you sort of found out while you were landmarking. Majority of those sheep you believe stolen are lambs. Is that right?
Yes, yes. And they all would have been a month to 6 weeks old. So a good majority of those, unfortunately, because they've been just ripped off their mums,
Yeah.
would have just died.
That's just horrible, mate. So
Yeah.
a lot of these lambs weren't even weaned off their mothers.
No, not at all.
That's unfortunate, mate. And of that 270, there's probably some ewes that have been stolen as well. Were they crossbred? What kind
Yes.
of what?
Roughly about 40, 48 of them were first cross,
Yep.
and then remaining of the 70 were the white Suffolk.
Okay. So I guess I can't say I've ever even thought about stealing livestock, but what does one do once they've stolen livestock? What should we be looking out for? Some different purchases online? Do they try and sell them for money? What can we as the community do to try and keep an eye out to help you locate where they may or may not have got to?
There's really not much. Once they're gone off your property, I presume, like, if I was to steal sheep, I mean, my sense would be to get rid of them as quick as possible
Yeah.
to get the money out of them. So I presume they've been directly taken to an abattoir, and just sold there. Because I mean, electronic tags, as much as people hype them up, I mean, realistically, in a case like this, I would presume that they're useless, because how easy it is just to load them up in a ramp, and cut them out with a pair of scissors
Yeah.
and just put your own tag in them, and then take them to an abattoir or to a sale yards and just sell them under your name.
Yeah. So there's would
Very,
they
very.
would they have had ear tags? Is there any?
All of my sheep had ear tags.
Yep.
All of them.
So
Yep.
is there if for any reason one may have been left on or overlooked, what's the serial number, and can people try and track them down?
Sorry, because these were purchased sheep, so
Yep.
these weren't bred by me.
Yep.
The ewes did not have my tag in them.
Okay.
Sorry, off the top of my head, I don't have the number. I have given them to the police.
That's fine.
But the lambs themselves had no tags because
they weren't going to be lamb marked.
They weren't quite ready for lamb marking at that stage.
Yeah. So whereabouts is your property, mate? Bessiebelle, whereabouts?
It's on Portland Road, Bessiebelle.
Road. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's just one of those spots that's almost perfect to sort of almost just creep along and flog something off due to the nature of the location and not having any houses in view of the property. So I can obviously see that they've been scouted and just picked off. And from what the neighbour had said to me, it's not the first time they've had livestock stolen off their place. Right. And they've got many locks on their gates and set up a system, and yet it's not helping them to stop these terrible people taking stuff from farmers that are already suffering.
And you hear about it, don't you, mate? You hear about, theft of livestock, particularly around our area with such a rural environment. But you never imagine that it would happen to you. You would hear of it, and it just must make you feel absolutely horrible.
Oh, it does. It's just crazy because everyone around us, and we've got several different properties around the area in the Glenelg Shire, and all our neighbours are wonderful. Like farmers help each other out, in the hardest times and in the good times.
Yeah.
And it's just a shame that someone's decided to come in and ruin that community sense that we're all here to help one another and win it together. When you just get someone who comes in and does this, it just causes unnecessary drama and trouble and financial hardship.
Not to mention in the midst of a drought, one of the worst we've seen. And I know we've seen some rain, but it's still very, very dry out there, and it's going to take a lot more than just a few days of rain to get some feed back in the ground. Mate, I'm really sorry about your loss. I hope what we can do to help does do that. If anyone has any information, make sure you do contact Crime Stoppers on 1800 333 000 or Detective Sergeant Richard Hughes at Warrnambool CIU. Shane, our thoughts are with you, and let's hope that we can try and get some answers for you.
Thank you very much for that. I appreciate your time.